before I met him, God has showed me in a vision what your husband will look like.
He now said that from the witches and wizards in my family, they have sent the person I'm going to get married to so that the person would scatter my destiny.
The girl is about to marry is going to destroy his destiny, and I'm the girl. I say, wow. The Kesenas community, my people.
Yes.
We love that you guys interacted with our last video so much. Thank you for the comments, the likes, the shares. Please interact more. You're giving us the ginger we need in this new year to produce more content. Please continue to ginger us. So you said you wanted more stories, and that's exactly what we're doing in this video. In fact, we've been cracking our heads saying, hey, God, where are the stories? Where are the interesting stories from our marriage, the pressure? And we have found some stories. So we're going to share one of those stories in this video. So just keep watching.
Yes. So what happened was, I think we were planning our wedding then, right?
Yeah, I think we're already engaged.
Already
at this
engaged.
Point. Yes,
we're
I'm
just
planning
planning our wedding. I think yes, it was when we were trying to ensure that we could be able to get mommy to come to Nigeria.
Yeah.
For the wedding, because it felt like she was not going to come. Right. So during this period, I had a friend who I was running around that period trying to find out how we could meet this embassy, meet this person to see how we can get my mom to come. And he was helping me. So around one time he said, oh, let's just go and see this pastor, this man of God. We're passing an area. Can we just branch and see this pastor? He just wants to say hi. He hasn't seen him in some time. And this pastor has done a lot for his family and all those kind of things. And he just wants to say hi. I said, no problem. I'll tag along as a friend, no problem. So first of all, we get to the place and he explains to me that, the church that he was in before got demolished or something. So he's trying to start up somewhere else. So that's why we're where we are. I said, I understand, that's fine, actually. So we stop, get out of the car, and then we walk to meet this guy. And first question was, we saw someone sweeping in circles. Now, if you're sweeping in circles, you're not actually sweeping because So when we went to meet him, he had a place where you have to move your shoes and then walk. So we moved our shoes. I
don't even remember this much detail. As people are hearing this is I'm hearing it because why is somebody sweeping in circles?
So we removed our shoes
any
and
church
walked
that
there.
you remove your shoe to enter. Like I'm supposed to say, any church that you use back to enter. Problem. Anyway, consider this one. They know it's back. Just remove your shoe and use fronts.
Anyway, so we enter where he was, and he sat down, and then he starts telling us about his story, his life, because he has told this guy, I don't know about it. So he's telling me about how he was in Italy, he used to be the pastor there and stuff. How the church started safe was the fact that while he was in the club, he started giving prophecies and they started coming to pass to people and stuff. So what used to happen that when they come to drink together, he would not start preaching to them and whatnot and stuff. And then something happened, somebody set him up because they saw that he was growing in his influence, and then he had to not send him back to Nigeria.
Wow.
So that's why he's in Nigeria and whatnot. And then people can look down on him. For instance, the person that was sweeping, something happened between the guy and him. He told him to do something and he did not do it. So as a recompense, he's told him to sweep in circles. 1. 2. After I said all of these things and we were just listening, I was like, I can't wait to live here. Like, I can't wait to live here. What am I doing here? Then he now said, and you, you're getting married soon. I said, yes, sir. Mind you, this, my friend, has not seen this guy in a while, and I believe him. And this is the first time I'm seeing this guy. How does he know I'm getting married? It's not like a lady that wears engagement rings, do you understand? So he said, oh, you're getting married soon.
You saw the engagement ring in your hat.
Is you're getting married soon? I said, oh, yes, sir, I am. He's like, oh, did you tell me that? I said, no. Do you know it from somewhere? Do I know you? All those things. I said, no. Said,
celebrate grace.
We're getting married soon. And the wedding is in so month. I said, oh, yeah. It's actually like, that's very
accurate.
That's accurate. And yeah, everything's like, okay. But let me just tell you now because, say, in fact, don't worry. Like, I don't think I should tell you and stuff. I was like, okay, that's fine. I was like, but just because I like you. I already said, okay, that's fine. Do you understand? He said, he primed it up first, like, oh, so you're about to make a huge mistake, but don't worry, I don't need to tell you. I said, no, no worry, it's fine. I don't say, but because I like you and you have like a good spirit and you have a bright future. You understand? You have a very bright future. So this is why I'm just going to tell you. He now said that from the witches and wizards in my family, they have sent the person I'm going to get married to so that the person would scatter my destiny. I will suffer. The person will use my destiny. The person is one of their coven. What? I was just talking. I was just like, my mind. At some point, I zoned out. I zoned out because I was just like, is this how people hear certain things and make decisions because someone said? It's a very dangerous thing not to have your convictions. It's a very dangerous thing when they ask you, oh, how do you know you should be in a relationship with this person? You say, I have what? Peace. Please have more than peace. So apart from the fact that you're attracted to someone, God will choose with you. There'll be confirmations. There will be in knowing in your spirit. Do you understand? When you pray about it, you will know that the way God leads you normally, you know that okay, God is leading me down this path.
Yeah.
Just imagine if my reason was peace. What the things he was saying, they were enough to remove any sort of peace that was in my heart.
Yeah. And I mean, when he called me to tell me that, oh, he was like, he followed his friend at the time. And the friend said, oh, let them see a pastor that has not seen in a while. And the pastor said, the prophet pastor said that the girl is about to marry is going to destroy his destiny. And I'm the girl. I say, wow, you don't mean it.
So it was very interesting to me.
Look at his destiny now. I need to send this video to that person because look, see, this is a good place to put our throwback picture. Our throwback picture of how we were then when we were dating, how he was there and versus now. You will know that both our destinies, they forged ahead.
ahead.
See, the manner of, in fact, we have both helped each other to fulfill our destiny.
Yes.
So that was an opposite prophecy.
Yes.
He was about to marry the woman that will help him to fulfill his destiny.
Come on.
And then the prophet said, no, it's that woman that will destroy your destiny. Hey, see, no be every, hold your ear. Say, I will hear God by myself. No be every prophecy. See, there was a story I was watching on Apostle Femi Lazarus' page.
Yeah.
And this lady was sharing how she was abused, seriously abused, serially abused by this man. I think he even infected her with AIDS. He was very, very abusive. Now, she said when Apostle Femi Lazarus asked her why she married this man, she said because a pastor told her that this was her husband. When the guy started beating her, and first of all, when she now went to see the guy, I think she saw him smoking. He had a shady character, but she went to the pastor again. The pastor said, this is your husband and everything. When the guy started beating her black and blue, she ran to the pastor. The pastor ran away. He did not say anything, could not help her. Please, please, and please. You need to have personal conviction. I've heard so many stories.
Yes.
There are many stories that I know I can't share because of counseling confidentiality. But I know a lot of people that prophet has told them something and it was wrong.
Yeah.
It is very important to hear God for yourself.
Yeah.
See,
apart from hearing God for yourself, open your eyes, look at things that don't tally with what God's best is for you. Like, if this is not God's best for you, this is not what it means to love your wife as Christ loved the church, or to submit as unto Christ. My brother, my sister, run. So it was very interesting to me when he was saying these things. And honestly, he spoke for a very long time. Was giving prophecies of doom. How my head will be used. How that this is the best version of myself that I will ever be. And if I get married to her, everything will start going down.
Which kind of best version?
I didn't have anything.
Like,
so what was the best
you
version?
were married and you now 10 points. Oh, me too.
So when he was saying all these things, I was just thinking, like, my God, Jesus, thank you so much. And I understood that there's some times where some of these things you can be brainwashed. Sometimes they might use negative spirituality to make you just something. So as he was saying, under my breath, I was speaking in tongues as he was saying these things. After everything, I said, "Oh, thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate it and everything. Oh, I've heard you." She's like, "If you like here, if you like to hear, that's how this guy. I told him to do this thing. That's how he see. That's why. Like he kept." I said, "Oh, I understand, sir, and everything. No problem. Thank you very much." When we now went back into the car, I kept quiet. I didn't say anything. Do you know? I'm just realizing maybe that's why he didn't like you. That friend that I had friends that I was friends with. We're not friends anymore, Sha. But maybe that's why he didn't like you.
I don't know.
Anyway,
I don't know.
it's very
Actually, I don't
interesting.
know.
Anyway, so
Very
when I was back in
interesting.
the car, I was just thinking, I was just like, how many people's destinies have been ruined just because rather than focusing on their relationship with God, learning how God speaks to them, hearing his voice, growing your relationship with God, you have depended solely on other people. We're not saying that it's not good to be submitted to a pastor. I'm a pastor and
Thank
it's
God.
important.
Thank God. As a pastor, you have authority to do.
It's important to do this, but we are also saying you can't depend on your pastor for your relationship with God.
You can't.
Why did Jesus tear the veil? If to give you access and then you decide not to go, but go through your pastor. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
See.
So grow, learn how God speaks to you and have your own convictions. Because you can't be hoodwinked. You can't.
You can. It's very important to know how God speaks to you. The first time that you hear God speak to you should not be when you are getting married.
Yeah.
Hello, you will not hear well.
You know.
You will make mistake.
Yeah.
Emotions are invested. Probably this person is fine. If you don't know how to hear God for yourself, you will be susceptible to all these false and wrong prophecies. Grow in knowing how the Lord speaks to you. And a lot of the time, people expect that when God is speaking to you, it's going to be in an audible voice or a sign. Mostly God speaks to you through nudges, like a strong nudge. But there are many ways God can speak to you. Apostle Emmanuel has many sermons on it. Go and listen to it.
Yes.
Learn. They are on Celebration
grow.
Church Global website.
And grow. And
Listen to it and grow.
Yeah.
Know how God speaks to you. See, use this your singleness to practice and grow in God speaking to you, so that when it's time to marry, it will be easy to spot it, because you will know that God, like, you will have a firm conviction from God.
Yeah.
And also the person's character will align. Other things will align. It's not only I've heard from God that should align. No, I've heard from God, but this person has bad character. Please, it's not giving.
It's not giving.
It's not giving.
And funny enough, the Bible says, there's everything in the Bible. The Bible says, test all prophecies. Hold fast to ones that are true. So it's not just anybody that can prophesy over you. It's not anybody like.
It's prophecy.
Be very circumspect. Be very circumspect.
It's very important.
Yeah.
See, people are falling into trouble
Just imagine
because of this.
Just imagine.
Just imagine.
I said, yes, man of God, you're right. I'm not going to marry.
Let me tell you your song. Your song in this season should be, thank you for saving me. Thank you, my Lord. I for miss my destiny.
I for destroy my life.
the woman of my destiny.
Imagine that. Imagine that. Anyway, I'm glad that happened. I'm glad that I had strong convictions. I mean, if you've not heard about how we got married, how we related to each other, there's a video titled "How We Met" and all those kind of things. So you can get that. But I'm glad I had all of that backing me before then. I'm glad that I was a believer who was strong in the faith, who was growing, who had heard God speak to him, not just because of the relationship, but because my entire life. And
I think we should just share a little bit about our convictions.
Okay.
Just like a little bit. So should I start?
You can start.
Okay.
Maybe it's better I start.
Yeah, you can start.
The timeline.
Yeah, you can start.
Okay, for me personally, I got saved 2017, January 16, 2017. So after I got saved, we had met by then.
We're already friends by then.
And when I got saved, it was such a radical moment for me. And I just realized, God, the way you saved me. Prior to this, I did not rate my life. In fact, I tried to commit suicide. And I was just like, I want God to tell me what to do with my life. That's what I wanted. So I decided to go on a fast. I was saved January 16th. My birthday is January 27th. And another story, another video. I'll tell you what this lady did to me. Anyway, let me go ahead.
Go ahead.
Anyway, so January 27th was my birthday. So I decided to fast from when I got saved to my birthday so that I could know what God wanted me to do in my life. And at that point, I decided, you know what, I'm not going to get married or be in a relationship because the only person that can love me the way I need to be loved is God. With my past and everything, nobody knew my past. It's like, I'm going to do that. So, as that was going on, God spoke to me to tell her about my past and everything. And I was just like, I really like this girl. No problem, let me just tell her. Since I'm not, no relationship, nothing. I told her. But the way she responded to it was the same way God did. As far as East from the West, that's how far to keep your sins away from you. So it was really eye-opening for me. And then on my birthday, when I was breaking my fast, I was praying, and then I got a vision of my wife and I teaching guys. I was teaching guys, she was teaching girls. We're in the same vicinity. I was teaching guys on how to do relationship God's way, and how to be a father, how to be a husband after God's, how to be a man after God's heart. She was teaching ladies around the same thing, but I came to ladies. And in the vision, we were married. I was just like, God, how far now? This is me and you. What's going on? Anyway, and then after that, I started developing serious feelings for her, but I got led not to ask her out yet. So we're friends, and I got a vision at that time of me laying hands on her and her getting the gift of speaking in tongues. So I was like, okay, no problem. I started getting more visions of our home, our children, our ministry. I was like, okay, I've seen.
Yeah.
So those were my very strong convictions.
All right. So for me, I've been in a long-term relationship before I met my husband. That lasted for like 3 years. When I met him, I was still in that relationship.
Yeah.
And I just began to seek the Lord more. You know, during 2017, I began to seek the Lord more that year. And I actually started learning about how God speaks to me, listening to sermons and stuff. And the more I learned about God speaking to me, my conviction to end the relationship I was in was getting stronger. And I remember, thank you. I remember one day as I finished speaking to the guy on the phone, I literally heard the Holy Spirit say, break this, like end this relationship. I was like, maybe that's not the Holy Spirit, maybe that's my mind.
Wow.
You know? So, but I kept on feeling it so strong. I knew I had to end it. So I ended that relationship. But when I ended it, I felt sad, like, oh, I've given 3 years of my life to this person. I also felt this person was my husband. So I'm just like, God, I really can't trust myself when it comes to choosing. I need you to help me. So when he said he was going to come and pray for me, and bear in mind, at that time, I was still growing in knowing how God speaks to me. So when he came to, when he said he was going to come and visit me and pray for me to receive the gift of speaking in tongues, I told God that, God, please, if he's my husband, I actually want to receive the gift of speaking in tongues when he prays for me. Because prior to that, I had been reading books and like trying to speak in tongues, but it hadn't happened yet. So I think my understanding of it was still wrong. So that's how I said, God, if he prays for me, I want to receive the gift of speaking in tongues. Bear in mind, this, like I said, I was growing. This is not how to know your husband. Please, this is not how to know if someone is your husband. Thank God that when he came to visit me and we prayed together, I began to speak in tongues. And that was like a huge confirmation for me. Also, when I told my mom, because even before we started dating, my mom knew about him and he was already friends with my mom. He was already speaking to my mom. My mom randomly asked me about him. So when I told my mom that, Joshua and I are dating now, she was very happy. I said, oh, I've always known. She said the first day I saw him, because she said some time ago, before I met him, God has showed me in a vision what your husband will look like. And when I met him, I recognized him as the guy I had seen in that vision. So basically, when she saw him, she recognized him, but she never told me until I had my own conviction. So that was just like added conviction. So I did not marry him because my mom told me that she saw a vision that this is my husband. But when I heard from God by myself and I had my convictions and my mom told me, I was 100% sure. In fact, I remember when I was going to get married, someone asked me that, how are you sure that this person is yours? I said, I'm 100% sure. I'm sure. Not only did everything align, not only did I hear from God and my mom's confirmation, his character aligned with everything I had prayed for and wanted in a man. So everything aligned. Everything aligned. Yes. We did not have much money. You know?
That's why when the people were saying, oh, you think you have money now, you will not have anything when you listen.
God forbid, if it's the most I'll ever have.
Sir, I don't have money. I don't have money. But I kept quiet and said, no.
Anyway, bottom line, make sure you are in a place where you hear when God is speaking to you.
Yes.
As a single person, God has to have led you in various areas before marriage.
Yeah.
The first time you hear God should not be married.
This is the person to get married
Exactly.
to.
Test all things. Test all things.
I beg.
Have your conviction. When you get your conviction, check character.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure. I've heard people that say, oh, I have a conviction, I have a prophecy, but I'm not attracted to this person. I don't like their character. It should all align. If it's not aligning, there's something wrong.
Yeah.
There's something wrong. Hope you enjoyed this story. If you did, please like this video,
and
share
the
subscribe,
video.
comment. Let's read your comments. We are very interested in that. Love you. See you at our next video.
Bye.
Bye.